Section 23, Transaction File Compliance and Broker Review, Arizona Market Introduction, from legal hotline lessons to file compliance. In Section 22, we looked at legal hotline questions involving fair housing, ADA issues, HOA rules, group homes, and disability accommodations. Those examples showed us that real estate risk can come from many directions. Now we move into one of the best ways to protect the agent, broker, client, and brokerage, the transaction file. A clean transaction file tells the story of the deal. It shows what was signed, what was disclosed, what was delivered, what was rejected, what was accepted, and what the broker reviewed. If ADRE ever audits the file or a complaint is filed, the file becomes the evidence. Why transaction files matter under ARS Section 32-2151.01. Brokers must maintain required transaction and employment records. These records generally must be kept for at least 5 years from the termination of the transaction or employment. That means the file is not optional. It is part of the broker's legal responsibility. The story, the missing disclosure. Imagine an agent closes a transaction and everything seems fine. 6 months later, the buyer files a complaint claiming they never received an important disclosure. The agent says, "I know I sent it." The broker asks, "Where is it in SkySlope?" If the document is missing, the brokerage has a problem. It may have been delivered, but if the file does not show proof, defending the agent becomes much harder. What belongs in a complete transaction file? A complete transaction file should include the major documents connected to the transaction, such as listing agreement or buyer-broker agreement, purchase contract, and all counteroffers, addenda and amendments, seller disclosures, including SPDS when applicable, HOA addendum and HOA documents when applicable, lead-based paint disclosure when required, agency disclosures and affiliated business disclosures, earnest money receipt or proof of deposit, inspection notices, BINSR, repair agreements, and related responses, loan status updates or financing-related documents when applicable, escrow instructions and settlement statement, rejected offers when required, emails or written proof of important notices and delivery, closing documents and final signed agreements. Broker review must happen quickly. Broker review is not supposed to happen after everyone forgets what occurred. The broker must be able to review documents quickly enough to catch problems while the transaction is still active. A late file can create a supervision issue. If the broker cannot see the contract, disclosures, or addenda until after closing, the broker cannot properly supervise the transaction. Common missing documents that create risk. Common missing items include rejected offers, earnest money proof, agency disclosure, HOA documents, lead-based paint forms, affiliated business disclosures, signed addenda, repair agreements, and proof that important documents were delivered. These missing documents may seem small until there is a complaint. Then they become the center of the investigation. SkySlope and transaction file systems. Uploading documents into SkySlope or another transaction file system should happen as soon as possible. The file system is not just storage. It is the broker's review tool. Best practice, if it is signed, upload it. If it is delivered, keep proof. If it changes the transaction, save it. If the client relies on it, document it. Late files become broker supervision issues. When agents wait until the end of the transaction to upload documents, the broker loses the opportunity to correct problems early. For example, if an agent forgets an HOA addendum, misses an agency disclosure, or fails to document earnest money, the broker may not discover it until it is too late. That can turn an agent mistake into a broker supervision concern. Best practices for agents. Agents should upload documents immediately, name files clearly, keep emails showing delivery, confirm rejected offers are saved, and respond quickly when the broker or compliance team requests corrections. A good file should be easy for another person to understand without needing a long explanation. Best practices for brokers. Brokers should maintain written file policies, review files consistently, document corrections, train agents on common missing documents, and enforce deadlines. The goal is not to punish agents. The goal is to protect the public, protect the client, and protect the brokerage. Closing thought. Transaction file compliance is where professionalism becomes proof. Agents may remember what happened, but the file proves what happened. If Section 22 showed us how complicated legal issues can become, Section 23 reminds us that strong documentation is one of the best defenses in Arizona real estate practice. Online discussion question 1. Why is a complete transaction file important if a complaint is filed later? Answer. because the file provides evidence of what was signed, disclosed, delivered, reviewed, and agreed to during the transaction. Question 2. Why should agents upload documents into SkySlope as soon as possible? Answer. Because timely uploads allow the broker to review the file while the transaction is still active and correct problems early. Question 3. How can late or incomplete files become a broker supervision issue? Answer. If the broker cannot review documents on time, the broker may not be able to properly supervise the transaction or catch compliance problems before closing.